World of YouTube. As you can see here, I got the old Wzlx, Carlson, McKenzie, and Heather. Love these guys. They're great radio DJs. Also, for all you new people, I've been on the show a few times before this, going over ghost hunting stuff, and Kevin there, he likes to bust my chops a lot. It's all fun. I don't mind. But to make this man a believer of ghosts, I was for sure this video would do something for him, but it didn't. I forgot to mention it, and I was supposed to, but I was going to say to him, well, the only way I guess I'm going to become popular with this guy, with anything, is if I run through his neighborhood with a Speedo. Then I'll become popular. You need to give me a nice Speedo, hell, maybe with the WZLX logo, and run through his neighborhood. Then he'll believe me or something and make me famous. But it's hoping to get my ghost stuff out here online or on the radio, and maybe people would, kick up on it too. But unfortunately, that ain't working. But they're good people on here, even though they bust my chops all the time. But I just wanted to show my interview and what was said. And like I stuttered in some of it because it's tough to speak about what I was, what I sent them in the video. I wish I could have done it better, but I mean I can, but it's too late. It's already said and done. But it's hard to, say things when I'm not looking at the video. Got a little goofed up on it, but I got everything out I needed to say about it and what it's about. And, blue masses have been known to be something. And like I said, finding out a Native American out by a Route 66 way, probably New Mexico. I got a video up on that. There's a blue mass that guards a mountain. And, go figure, I find that out. And I have a blue orb floating across a cemetery up on the Wzlx Mountain, mind you. And it's called Meeting House Cemetery, I believe. But that is the cemetery where the Lucy Key's mother is buried. And if anybody don't know that story, I've been trying to find the waterway in the woods where I believe I got it, but I haven't done my video yet on it. Where they were going, Lucy and her two older sisters, to get water, at a pond or a lake. And, of course, Lucy got lost in the woods. Never to be found, body never found. Once again, one of them things. Nothing indicated. And the mother went mad and looking for her. Suppose she also went up onto Mount Wachusett, screaming her name. And they say if you get out there at the right place, you can hear her mother still screaming her name today. But I mean, getting that blue orb, though, in that cemetery where her mother's buried was amazing. Broad daylight. I go on to tell him this, but I didn't tell him the background of the story. He ain't got much time. That's what stinks, If I can get near this guy to tell him more stories and more time, But he's still skeptical. This video didn't do nothing for him. But he did put it up on Twitter for me. People can look at it, give their own opinion. But I know I caught something that night. Just because there's some non-believers. And I didn't get out to this guy. I mean, I said it before. I said, you got to be around me to get the stuff and activity to happen. So, that being said, you're not going to get a believer here and there. But he did have a Halloween thing last year that I missed. I had to win over the radio. He made it sound like I wanted to get in there. And I was mad and I was screaming at him. Ah! But I wasn't mad, all I said was, if you get me in these places, you will have activity. But, this guy, like I say, man, this guy loves to bust my chops. But what can you do? I got on the radio. If I get it, I get it. I don't, I don't. But without further ado, I'm gonna set the phone down somewhere where it's quiet and run the interview.
Right now. So we have a listener who's a ghost hunter. His name's Archie. We've had him on before.
Archie's back?
Ghost hunter Archie. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey guys, what's happening?
So Archie sent me a video of a ghost that he saw. I have forwarded it on to you. I've also tweeted it out. If you follow me on Twitter, Kevin Carlson, you'll see this. With the video, he sent the following email. Hey, Kevin, I have a video clip of a ghost mist walking in front of my camera. Happened late last night at the Bloody... Is it the Bloody Angle? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
In Lincoln?
Yep. It was during the Revolutionary War.
It's Minuteman State Park there?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the Bloody Angle? A certain area of the battlefield?
When I stumbled upon it due to a story I was researching, a missing person. And yeah, back in the Revolutionary War, they were on their way to Concord to confiscate guns and stuff, I guess, out of the Colonial Inn. And on their way there, they got ambushed by the English. And where I stood, there was 8 soldiers that was killed there at that spot, and I believe that they say they're buried somewhere around there.
The only thing I know about what you're saying is the Colonial Inn. They have a fine restaurant. They're still open. Feed there.
Oh yeah, they got a haunted room too. So.
There's an old road in Billerica where people have seen the ghost of a dude on horseback wearing colonial clothing. Are you familiar with that or no? I don't know the name of the road, but it's in Billerica. It's a famous street.
There's another road out there that might be the same one. I don't know, but there was witches that got hung because they were doing witchcraft at a church.
Yep. All right, so let's get to this video.
Is the ghost the blue part?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was going over my footage, I did.
Okay, let me just say this. Once again, he disappoints. All right. So I'm just telling you. You send me these videos, and he sends them to me all the time, saying, "Can you see this?" And it is complete nonsense. It's little blurbs of electricity. It's a small flash.
That's not electricity.
Yeah.
That's energy.
Okay, so where is in this video that you sent? Where is the ghost? Tell us.
Well, I wanted to I was gonna do a better video on that because I put my phone on the TV because it's one of them smartphone connected TVs.
All right, but what we have is what we have. So tell us what we have.
Yeah, always excuses.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
what are we looking at?
Is it the white flash?
No, there's a blue mist.
Yeah, I see that.
You see all them white they are little bugs flying around. But in the distance, one of the bugs, it's hard to explain because you got to be watching it. But I see a blue mist that goes to the left of the camera and then shoots back to the right.
I see it.
That right there is what the mist is.
Are you convinced that that's a ghost, that he's seen a ghost, based on the... Heather, you've seen it as well?
I have.
And?
No.
No. course not.
I see. It actually looks like at one point it's running across the screen. It's got 2 feet at the bottom.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Do you see that?
I don't see it. No.
I do. I'm not buying it, but I see it.
Let me look at it again. Oh, boy.
At one point, the blue mist has 2 little feet. Looks like they're running.
No, that's not it, Pete. You're being ridiculous. That's not. I know what you're saying. Yeah, that's not it. No.
I love that color blue. I wanted my pickup truck to be that color.
Heard that
well, I
there's-
mean, there are stuff in the history books that claim blue mist are a spirit. I mean, I was up at the Meeting House Cemetery in Mount Wachusett, and I literally, broad daylight, caught a blue orb floating across the cemetery still.
Enough of this nonsense.
I love his voice, though.
Yeah.
I do.
Hey, I heard that
Can I
there's...
say one thing, Kevin?
Go ahead.
I do have a witness to something, and it was at a gas station in Leominster. If you want to really get into this, I was standing there pumping gas. I had to get gas, and I was just, staring off at the garage that they have there. And literally in the garage, I heard this laughter, and I mean, it was something wicked. Something laughing. I mean, literally giving out a something crazy. And I'm standing there, I'm thinking, maybe what's it? But the owner of the gas station came out when across the building at the end of it. He was looking all around. I mean, literally looking for something that was there. There was nobody in the garage but him and the cashier. And he went back into the store. I waited 2 days later. I came back to get more gas. And he was there, and I asked him, hey, I was here the other day pumping gas, and I heard something in your garage. And you should have seen his face drop, because he said, I heard that, and there was nobody in there. And I said, I wonder if you got any ghosts around here lingering. He's a believer of ghosts, too, so I mean...
You know what? I'll bet a guy who worked at the gas station, a car fell off a jack, killed the guy. Well, you go ahead and laugh if you want. I would investigate it. All right, Archie, good talking with you. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Hey, I'm sorry to bug you, Kevin, but I thought that might have been something.
All right, we appreciate it. It's 8:31. 100.7 Wzlx. I'm just looking to see when that show is rescheduled. They've already announced the rescheduled date for the Black Crowes at the Xfinity Center.
That's optimistic.
But yeah, you have good tickets. Hold on to them. So.
It's like all these shows are like 1 or 2 days later, just a year later.
Yeah. But
So that's it. My interview. Like I said, I should have told him about the guy that was in his neighborhood he took a picture of. Should have told him I'd run around and get myself a Speedo. Maybe I'll come famous then. But I don't know. I gotta leave this guy alone, I guess, with this stuff. He's hard man to make believe. If they do have anything next year for Halloween, I might try and get into it. If I don't, I don't. But, hey, what can you do? He wants to see something like maybe a black mass or a figure is what he... And I mean, could have sworn I had something like that, but I don't think I do yet. But that blue mist was a body, was a figure, was something. And yeah, it's just hard for this guy to take notice into this stuff, but I don't know. I'll get him one day, though. But other than that, great radio show. This guy, I mean, he's an awesome dude. I've listened, and I'll leave you with this, with a lot of radio stations up and down the East Coast. And, I mean, I probably would hear a lot more, but this one, literally, to me, is the most legit radio station with good humor, good, talking of stories positively. Just one of the best radio stations. I mean, and as you can see, WAF gone, WBCN gone. These are radio stations that dominated the airwaves, and WZLX just continues to pound their way through. I mean, from what I listen to on the radio, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the other two stations, and I did, but see them to disappear like they did, and this one's still kicking, it only goes to show what they have for content that is good enough to keep them running on the air. check him out on, you can catch, podcasts on iHeartRadio. Other than that, until the next video, be safe, take care, and always believe. Just because this guy don't mean you do. Especially you're going to believe after I get done with stuff. I don't know what he's lacking of, but